Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Now in today's session, we are starting a new chapter, that is theory of demand. In this chapter, we will be learning about what do we mean by demand, what is law of demand, what are the various determinants which are affecting the demand. So to begin with, see, you can visualize in this picture that a girl is just thinking about and she just wished to have a LED television. Fine. She's just thinking that I wish I could have a LED television, but she is not having enough money to buy it. So if this is the case, that if a person says that I wish to have a LED television, but I don't have enough money to buy it, so it is just a wishful thinking. So this is what we mean by desire. Fine. Just a wishful thinking, which is nothing but a desire. देखिए, अगर हम कोई चीज लेना चाह रहे हैं और हमारे पास पैसा ही नहीं है उसको लेने का, इसका मतलब क्या है? ये एक विशफुल थिंकिंग है ना? हम सिर्फ उसका ये एक नियर डिजायर है that yes I want to have something, but actually I'm not having enough purchasing power to buy it. अब क्वेश्चन अराइज होता है कि अगर मेरे पास परचेजिंग पावर भी आ जाए, मेरे पास एनफ मनी हो टू बाय दैट थिंग, डज इट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट एन इफेक्टिव डिमांड? Then also the answer is no. Why? Because the concept of demand says first you need to have a desire, means I wish to buy a LED television. Second, you need to have enough purchasing power so that you can have that commodity or that thing which you want to buy, which you wish to buy. So that means I am having sufficient money to buy it. Now the third thing which should be there in order to constitute an effective demand is willingness to spend. That means a decision that I will buy a LED television. So basically, if we talk about the concept of demand, it should have three components. First, the desire, that is, I wish to have a LED television. Second, the purchasing power, I am having sufficient money to buy it. Thirdly, आपके अगर आपके पास पैसा है, तभी भी हम ये नहीं कह सकते बेटा कि आप इफेक्टिव डिमांड को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट कर रहे हो, अनलेस एंड अनटिल आप ये डिसीजन ले लेते हो कि yes, I will buy that particular thing which I wish. Fine. So the third thing is willingness to spend. That is the decision that I will buy a LED television. So the meaning of demand is, demand for a commodity is the desire to buy a commodity backed with sufficient purchasing power and the willingness to spend at each possible price during a given period of time. That means in order to constitute an effective demand, the three components which should be present are first, desire, second, your sufficient purchasing power, and third, willingness to spend at each possible prices during a given period of time. I hope the meaning of demand is clear to all of you. Let's study the demand of commodity X. Now see, the price per kg in rupees is given. At price rupees 20 per kg, the quantity demanded by a consumer is 10 kg of a commodity. At a price of rupees 15 per kg, quantity demanded is your 12 kg. At price rupees 10 per kg, quantity demanded is 15 kg, and at price rupees 5 per kg, quantity demanded is 18 kg. Now you can see that when the price is falling from 20 to 15 to 10 to 5 per kg, quantity demanded is increasing. Right? Quantity demanded of this particular commodity X is increasing. Now, when we talk about a particular quantity demanded at a particular price. Again, I am repeating, when we talk about a particular quantity demanded at a particular price, we say that it is quantity demanded. But when we talk about the whole set of quantity demanded of a particular commodity at different prices, that we mean the total demand. So the total demand of a particular commodity is the various possible quantity demanded at different prices at a given point of time. जब हम एक पर्टिकुलर बेटा क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड की बात करते हैं किसी पर्टिकुलर प्राइस पे, देन वी यूज द टर्म क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. जब हम पूरे स्केड्यूल की बात कर रहे हैं कि एट दीज पॉसिबल प्राइसेस दीज आर द क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड at a particular point of time, so that means we are talking about demand. So demand refers to different possible quantities to be purchased at different possible prices of a commodity, whereas when I'm talking about quantity demanded, it refers to a specific quantity to be purchased against a specific price of a commodity. Yes, again I'm going to show you that slide. See, when I'm talking about that 12 kgs of commodity X is available at rupees 15 per kg. So that means I'm talking about quantity demanded, specific quantity demanded at a specific price at a given point of time. But when I'm talking about the whole set of quantity demanded available at different possible prices of commodity X, that means I am talking about, I am referring to demand for that commodity. Demand schedule. The next term is demand schedule. It's a table showing the relationship between different quantities of a commodity to be purchased at different prices of a commodity. And we are having two types of demand schedule: individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. Now let's first understand what do we mean by demand schedule. It says a table showing relation between different quantities of a commodity जो हम purchase कर सकते हैं at different possible prices. Now you can see an individual consumer, fine, he is ready to buy 4 units of commodity X when the price of the commodity X is 1. Then when the price of that commodity rise from 1 to rupees 2 per unit, then the quantity of good X that is demanded by an individual consumer is 3. When the price rise from rupees 2 per unit to rupees 3 per unit, then the quantity demanded is going to fall from 3 units to 2 units. And finally, when the price is rising from rupees 3 to rupees 4 per unit, quantity demanded by an individual consumer is 1 unit. Fine. So you can very well see when the price of the commodity X is increasing, the individual consumer is demanding less and less units of that commodity. So it shows that there is an inverse relationship between price of X and quantity of X. So individual demand schedule basically shows different quantities of good X to be bought by an individual consumer at different prices of good X at a given point of time. किसी भी टाइम में अगर एक इंडिविजुअल कंज्यूमर की बात की जाए तो वो इंडिविजुअल कंज्यूमर किसी भी पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी की कितनी क्वांटिटी परचेज करेगा at different possible prices. The table which is going to give me this information is referred to as individual demand schedule. अब बेटा मार्केट में एक इंडिविजुअल कंज्यूमर तो होता नहीं है, कंज्यूमर्स आर मेनी. आपकी कमोडिटी जो हम सेल कर रहे हैं या मार्केट से परचेज कर रहे हैं, देयर आर मेनी कंज्यूमर्स हु आर बाइंग द सेम कमोडिटी. तो लेट अस से फॉर आवर सिंप्लीफिकेशन से कि हम कहते हैं मार्केट में 2 ही कंज्यूमर हैं कमोडिटी एक्स को परचेज करने के लिए. ठीक है, कंज्यूमर ए and consumer B. Fine. Consumer A, which is the quantity demanded by consumer A is shown in column, second column of this table, and the quantity demanded by consumer B is shown in the third column of this table. Now the first column is price of good X per unit. Now see, हमने simplification sake के लिए बेटा अभी दो ही consumer लिए हैं. Rather there are n number of consumer. किसी भी commodity के जो customers हैं वो they are n in number. Fine. So at price ₹1 per unit, quantity demanded by consumer A is 4 unit and quantity demanded by consumer B is 5 unit. अब बेटा अगर हम कहते हैं कि टोटल मार्केट में इस कमोडिटी के दो ही बायर हैं, दो ही कंज्यूमर हैं, तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड बाय कंज्यूमर ए प्लस क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड बाय कंज्यूमर बी, दैट इज 4 + 5, is going to constitute the total market demand for that particular commodity at price 1. Similarly, at price 2, quantity 2 per unit. Quantity demanded by consumer A is 3 unit. Quantity demanded by consumer B is 4 unit. अगर हम इन दोनों को ऐड कर दें, दोनों की क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड 3 + 4 7, तो हमने अजम्पशन यही लिया है कि दो ही कंज्यूमर है पूरी मार्केट में, तो टोटल मार्केट डिमांड फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी X at price 2 per unit will be ₹7 per unit. And similarly, by adding the quantity demanded by both the consumers, we are going to get the total market demand of commodity X at different possible prices. So the schedule which is going to show this detail is market demand schedule. So the meaning of market demand schedule is that it shows different quantities of a commodity that all the buyers in the market are ready to buy at different possible prices of a commodity at a point of time is your market demand schedule. I hope the meaning of market demand schedule is clear to all of you. Now let's come back to again our individual demand schedule. We saw that the first column is your price per unit of commodity X, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. And the quantity demanded at various possible prices by an individual consumer at a given point of time is 4, 3, 2, 1. That means 4 units of a commodity at price 1 per unit, 3 units of a commodity at price 2 per unit, 2 units of a commodity at price 3 per unit, and 1 unit of a commodity at price 4 per unit. Fine. So if I want to plot this data on a graph, on x-axis we will show quantity demanded of a particular commodity X, fine, and on y-axis we are going to show the price per unit, fine. So let us say on x-axis 1 unit is equal to your 1 unit of commodity. If it is in kilogram, so 1 unit is equal to 1 kg. So at equal distance we are going to plot this 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then prices also ₹1 per unit, 3 per unit, 4 per unit, 5 per unit. So 1 unit is equal to 1 rupee. So 1, 2, then 3 and then 4. And all of us know how to plot it. पहला combination हमारा क्या है? 1 and 4. So when the price is 1, quantity demanded is 4. So they are going to get this point A. Then when the price is 2, quantity demanded is 3. Price is 2, quantity demanded is 3. So this is my point B. Then price is 3, quantity demanded 2. Price is 3, quantity demanded is 2. So this is C. And when price is 4, quantity demanded is 1. When price is 4, quantity demanded is 1. Fine. So this is point D. बेटा मैं इनको अगर join कर लेती हूँ इन points को, I will have to join it with a scale. Here I am joining it with free hand, but you have to join it with a scale. So this curve is your demand curve, and this is represented by DD. Fine. This curve is known as your individual demand curve. Individual demand curve. So if somebody asks, what is the individual demand curve? Individual demand curve refers to a graphical representation of the individual demand schedule. आप जब individual demand schedule को graphically represent करते हो तो आपके पास individual demand curve आ जाता है. Similarly, market demand curve refers to the graphical representation of the market demand schedule, and basically this curve is obtained by horizontal summation of the individual demand curves. ये देखिए, this first graph is the individual demand curve for consumer A. Second graph is the individual demand curve for individual B, your consumer B, and finally the market demand curve is going to be a horizontal summation of the individual demand curves of consumer A and consumer B. Now, slope of a demand curve. Now we know that slope of any straight line is given by your change in y upon change in x-axis. Now let me elaborate first with the help of the demand curve which we have prepared. Now this is the individual demand curve which we prepared. So slope of any line, see, slope of any line is given by change in y upon change in x. Fine. Now on y-axis we have represented price. So definitely when we talk about the slope of the demand curve, that means change in price upon, and on x-axis we have shown quantity demanded. So upon change in Q. Fine. So the slope of the individual demand curve is given by the formula change in P, that is change in price, upon change in Q, that is change in quantity demanded. And since we know that the relationship between price and quantity demanded in case of demand is negative, you know, how negative? When the price of particular commodity is going to rise, quantity demanded is going to fall. ना, price rise होती है तो quantity demanded fall हो जाती है, and if the price of the commodity falls, the quantity demanded will increase. So the slope is, see, you will find that there is going to be a negative sign, but when we are calculating the slope of any line, this negative sign is ignored. Fine. ये तो बेटा फॉर्मूला की बात हो गई. एक बार हम इसका स्लोप कैलकुलेट करके देखते हैं. लेट अस कैलकुलेट द स्लोप एट दिस पॉइंट. ठीक है. Let us say that when the price of a particular commodity is 4, quantity demanded is 1, and when the price has changed or fallen from 4 to 3, quantity demanded is increased from 1 to 2. So we said that slope of a line is given by change in P, है ना. तो अगर मैं change in P की बात करूं, change in P कैसे निकलेगा हमारा? Change in P is given by changed P minus initial prices upon change in Q. कैसे निकलेगा? Your change quantity demanded माइनस योर इनिशियल क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. इनिशियल को हम ओ से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं बेटा, और जहां पे हम चले गए उस क्वांटिटी को या न्यू क्वांटिटी को या न्यू प्राइस को हम P1 Q1 से डिनोट करते हैं. तो लेट अस से आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस एरिया दैट योर इनिशियल P is 4. So initial P, let me substitute the values. Initial P, that is P0 is 4 minus, now price has fallen to 3. So P1 is 3. So 3 minus 4 upon, अब बेटा Q1 क्या हुआ है? हमारी प्राइस जब 4 थी, क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड वाज 1. So that means Q0 is 1, and now the quantity is changed to Q1, that is 2 units. So if I substitute the values, I'm going to get 3 minus 4 is minus 1 upon 2 minus 1 is 1. So the slope of this individual demand curve is minus 1. I told you that we are going to ignore this minus sign because since price and quantity demanded in case of a demand is inversely related, तो बेटा स्लोप हमेशा आपका नेगेटिव ही निकलेगा, तो हम इसको इग्नोर कर देंगे एंड स्लोप इज गोइंग टू बी 1. नाउ सिंस इट्स अ स्ट्रेट लाइन डिमांड कर्व, you calculate slope anywhere on any point, on point C, B, A. आप जब भी कैलकुलेट करके देखोगे हमेशा 1 ही निकलेगा. आप कैलकुलेट करके देख लीजिएगा, it will always be 1. So slope is constant at every point on the individual demand curve. That is why this individual demand curve is a straight line. This is a straight line. On students' demand, let me repeat this example. See, let's say that the original price, your initial price is rupees 4. So that means P0 is 4, and at this price, quantity demanded is 1. You can see at price 4, quantity demanded is 1. So your Q0 is 1. Your initial quantity demanded is 1. Fine. This is the initial position. अब क्या हुआ? When price has changed from rupees 4 to 3, that means your P1, let me write it over here. P1 is now 3, and at price 3, quantity demanded is 2. So Q1 is 2 units. Fine. So if I substitute, and change in P is what? P1 minus P0. Change in Q is Q1 minus Q0. So if I substitute the values, P1 is 3 minus 4 minus 1. Q1 is 2 minus Q0, that is 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So the slope of this particular individual demand curve is minus 1. Ignoring the minus sign, the slope will be 1. Likewise, you can calculate the slope on any point on this individual demand curve. It is always going to be constant, that is 1 only. That is why the question can be asked that why this individual demand curve is a straight line. If it is a straight line, that means the slope on every point on this individual demand curve is constant. So thus we conclude that the slope of demand curve is given by change in price divided by change in quantity demanded. Now, these are the features of the slope of a demand curve. First is it slopes downward from left to right, है ना? You can see, आप देखो ये left side, this is your left side and this is your right side. So it is moving downward, ऊपर से नीचे जा रहा है as we are moving from left to right. Next is it shows the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Now, why it is sloping downward from left to right? Reason being that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. जब भी price per unit increase होगी तो quantity demanded fall हो जाएगी, और जब भी price per unit decrease होगी quantity demanded increase हो जाएगी. So that is why there is an inverse relationship. तभी ये downward sloping होता है. And lastly, the straight line of the demand curve DD is showing the linear demand function. I told you that since the slope on every point on this straight line demand curve is constant, आप किसी भी जगह calculate करके देख लीजिएगा, you are going to get a constant figure. And since the slope is constant, that is why this demand curve is a straight line demand curve. I hope the properties of the slope of the demand curve is clear to all of you. Now let's proceed towards the next topic, that is demand function. A bit of demand function is nothing but it's a, you can say a relationship. It's a just like we have a mathematics में functions होते हैं ना, functions में हम क्या करते हैं, relationship show करते हैं. So same way, demand function also shows the relationship between demand for a commodity and its various determinants. अब डिटर्मिनेंट्स का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? डिटर्मिनेंट्स का मतलब होता है वो सारे फैक्टर्स जिसके ऊपर डिमांड डिपेंडेंट है, ठीक है, वो सारे फैक्टर्स जिनके ऊपर डिमांड डिपेंडेंट है. सो लेट्स लर्न अबाउट दीज फैक्टर्स वन बाय वन. डिमांड dx, देखिए इसको हम कैसे रीड करते हैं. dx इज डिमांड फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी x is equal to f. f means is a function of, means demand for a particular commodity x is dependent upon. is a function of का मतलब कि ये इन फैक्टर्स के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. सबसे पहला फैक्टर्स px. px is price of the given commodity. ऑब्वियसली प्राइस के ऊपर तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड हमने देख लिया डिपेंडेंट है. जैसे ही प्राइस इंक्रीज होती है क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड फॉल हो जाती है. जैसे ही प्राइस फॉल होती है क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इंक्रीज हो जाती है. द सेकंड फैक्टर on which the demand for a particular commodity is dependent is price of related goods. Fine. Now the goods are related in two ways. First is substitute goods, second are complementary goods. Now we will learn these goods in detail, but for the time being just remember one thing. सब्स्टिट्यूट का मतलब होता है एक कमोडिटी के बदले में दूसरे को यूज करना, है ना. अगर हम स्टूडेंट्स हैं, है ना, स्टूडेंट्स की अगर हम लैंग्वेज में, स्कूल की लैंग्वेज में बात करें, आपके सब्स्टिट्यूशन पीरियड लगते हैं. इफ अ टीचर इज एब्सेंट सो द अदर टीचर टेक्स द सब्स्टिट्यूशन पीरियड. तो सेम वे विद सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स. अगर एक कमोडिटी अवेलेबल नहीं है तो उसके बदले में कोई और कमोडिटी एज अ सब्स्टिट्यूट कंज्यूम करना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल टी एंड कॉफी आर सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स. इफ आई एम हॉट beverage lover, so if tea is not available coffee will work. if coffee is not available tea will work. अगर मुझे हॉट ड्रिंक पीना पसंद है तो मैं टी और कॉफी को एज अ सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड यूज कर सकती हूँ. नेक्स्ट रिलेटेड गुड्स आर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स. कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स क्या होते हैं? जो कि एक साथ कंज्यूम होते हैं. फाइन. लाइक ब्रेड एंड बटर, लाइक योर पेट्रोल एंड कार, लाइक योर पेन एंड रिफिल. फाइन. आपके पेन में रिफिल डलती है, बिना रिफिल के पेन की बॉडी इज यूजलेस. फाइन. एंड बिना पेन की बॉडी के रिफिल इज यूजलेस. सो बोथ आर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स, बोथ आर गोइंग टू बी यूज्ड टुगेदर. फाइन. सो price of the related goods are also going to play a very significant role in determining the demand for a particular commodity X. Fine. Next determinant and how they are going to play an important role that we learn in further slides. Now Y stands for income of a consumer. Again income के ऊपर demand किसी भी commodity की कैसे dependent होती है, इससे पहले हम पहले सीख लें कि इनकम के बेसिस पर गुड्स को हम दो पार्ट्स में क्लासिफाई करते हैं. एक होता है बेटा नॉर्मल गुड और एक होता है इंफीरियर गुड. नॉर्मल गुड्स इज योर नॉर्मल क्वालिटी गुड, लाइक योर व्हीट, राइस, बासमती राइस जो हम कंज्यूम करते हैं, दे आर ऑल नॉर्मल गुड्स. लेकिन inferior goods होते हैं that if the income of the consumer is not good enough, they are living below poverty line, so they are consuming inferior goods. Inferior means low quality goods. जैसे wheat ना खा के फिर वो क्या करते हैं, ज्वार, बाजरा. So they are inferior goods. Inferior means your low quality good. तो definitely जो high income bracket में consumers आते हैं, they consume normal goods. और जो low income bracket में consumers आते हैं, they कंज्यूम इंफीरियर गुड्स. अब इनकी डिमांड किसी भी कमोडिटी की इनकम के ऊपर कैसे डिपेंडेंट होती है, दैट वी लर्न फर्दर इन द स्लाइड्स. नाउ टी इज अगेन वन ऑफ द फैक्टर्स व्हिच इज अफेक्टिंग द डिमांड फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी. टी स्टैंड्स फॉर टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंसेस ऑफ द कंज्यूमर, है ना. अगर टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस होगा, फेवरेबल होगा, आप किसी पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी को लाइक करते हो तभी तो खरीदोगे. अगर आपको वो चीज पसंद नहीं आती तो आप नहीं खरीदोगे. सो टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर ऑन विच द डिमांड फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन. नाउ E stands for expectation of change in the price in future. E मतलब हम क्या कर रहे हैं, फ्यूचर में एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि जो कमोडिटी, जो कमोडिटी अंडर स्टडी, जो कमोडिटी हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं, उसकी फ्यूचर में प्राइस या तो इंक्रीज हो जाएगी या डिक्रीज हो जाएगी. So this is also a very important factor on which the demand for a particular commodity is dependent. कैसे? Suppose देखो, आप देखते हो अगर गवर्नमेंट अनाउंस करती है कि कल से पेट्रोल के प्राइसेस इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे, फाइन, गवर्नमेंट ने अनाउंस किया कल से प्राइस इंक्रीज होंगे, तो आप देखते हो रात रात तक पेट्रोल पंप्स पे सारे के सारे ऑटोमोबाइल्स लेके पहुंच जाते हैं कि कल से प्राइस इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं, तो अभी हम पेट्रोल डलवा लेते हैं एट अ लोअर प्राइसेस। प्राइस अभी चेंज नहीं हुए लेकिन डिमांड इंक्रीज हो गई, क्यों? इन फ्यूचर एक्सपेक्टेशन कि ये तो प्राइस कल से बढ़ रहे हैं। सो व्हेन वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि इन फ्यूचर द प्राइसेस आर गोइंग टू राइज ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी, तो हम क्या करते हैं? एट अ करंट प्राइस द डिमांड इंक्रीजेस. That is why E is also one of the factor on which the demand for a particular commodity is dependent. I hope that the factors which we have discussed is clear to all of you. We are going to discuss them in detail in further slides. We'll be discussing all these factors in detail in the next class now. That's all for today from my side. Hope you have enjoyed the session today. Thank you very much.